Well, hello everybody, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do my review of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, Season 9, Episode 11, Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner. Are y'all ready to get into this? Let's do it. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, to my nieces and nephews, and all of y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie Advice. Sweet old. It's time for Auntie Advice. Oh, yeah. It's time for Auntie Advice. Sweet old Auntie Advice. Well, welcome back, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I'm hoping you all are having a great day and having a great day on purpose. Let's get into this episode of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, Season 9, Episode 11. I did not think that this was a happy ever after all, y'all. This was a hot mess express, and we're going to get into it now. I don't believe that I have their pictures up. I don't think I saved their pictures because I thought, what for? Yeah, I don't have them. Okay, well that's fine. So I think that most of us are familiar with the couples that don't need to see them on the screen. Okay, so we're just going to get into it as we're going to get into it, and I'm not going to hold y'all because it's cold here in the DMV, honey, and I ain't got no sleeves on because I took my robe off because I was like, I don't want to be sitting out here with my robe unless I got a cup of coffee. But anyway, I digress. So we're going to get into it. The first couple that I really want to talk about is Lauren and Alexi, and Elizabeth and Andre. So, of course, we all know that, the stuff went down at Yara's dog premiere or whatever she was doing, child. Roll out, whatever. And there were a lot of accusations that were made. I think that a lot of the accusations were made on a false pretense, but anyway, I digress. So Elizabeth, approached Lauren about saying that Andre, who we all believe is a horrible person, is a horrible person. Lauren told her she did not say that. She called him a peen, okay? But she did not say that he was a horrible person. She also said that the group agreed with it and all of that kind of stuff, right? And so it ended up coming out, that they all knew about, Yara ended up telling her, we all knew about Andre losing $75,000 of your money. So of course, Lauren, Libby leaves and she's upset and all of that stuff. She doesn't want Andre to touch her and all of that because that's how she said Andre. And so, so we see them at the beach and they are having a conversation about what happened. And Andre, in his own way, attempts to apologize for putting her in that position. And then, she's like, I'm gonna always have your back, no matter how mad about things, how mad I am about things that you do, I'm going to always have your back. And we all know that. Libby is not going anywhere. I have seen people making comments and stuff like that about her, needing to leave him. She's not going to leave that man. She is not going to leave that man, like at all. And so I don't know why the fans thinks that she is. And so, in the meantime and in between time, Lauren is having a conversation with her husband about the incident. And he's like, okay, so what did you say? Like, what did you say? And so, she had, come out there and said that, he was body shaming her and stuff like that, when really it was her internal thing, right? and but she put it out there to her girlfriend, to Libby, because she thought that that was her girlfriend. And a lot of times, you all, as women, right, we talk to our girlfriends about things that we don't feel comfortable talking to our husbands about, or our boyfriends, or our significant other. It could be a girlfriend or whoever, right? We talked to, our friends about it. And so this is what she did. She felt like this, she could trust Libby. But what she doesn't understand is that Libby is no longer in relationship with anyone in her family but her father. So why would you ever think that Libby would be loyal to anyone outside of Andre? Libby has gotten rid of every one of her sisters and brother, Charlie, for Andre. So I don't know if he's slinging it. I don't know what it is about her that has made her like that. I think that while Libby was the baby and she was spoiled by Chuck and by her mom, because trust me, Libby from the last episode that we saw when they were bringing the family together was really not even having in relationship with her own mother. So I don't know why anyone would trust Libby with the information and would not think that she is the type of person that will store that information and pull it out whenever she feels like she needs to give you a gut punch. She needs to keep you in check. She is just that type of person, in my opinion, which is the same person that Andre is, right? But Andre is just very loud and boisterous with it. Libby sits and blinks her eyes and stuff. And I was like, okay, so I know that Lauren has y'all. I'm y'all, like, seriously, I'm cold. So I need to get a jacket. Y'all, let me get a jacket. Y'all, I am freezing and I refuse to turn on the heat. Hold on. Woo, child. It is cold. Do you hear me? Oh my God, it is cold. So, Libby, Libby, I know that Lauren has come out, right, and she really had to, because in the first season when we met Lauren, when she first appeared on the show, a lot of us was asking whether or not she had Tourette's because of the way she was moving her face and stuff. I'm wondering if Libby got a little touch of it too, because I don't know if you all see the jittering and stuff like that Libby does. And maybe that's why she was the prime princess in the home, because there was some physical things going on with her. But I just kept looking at Libby, and I was like, "Does Libby have Tourette's too? Is this something maybe she shared with Lauren, which made them be, really close with one another because they had mutual things that were going on? I don't know. Y'all let me know downtown in the chat, because I was really looking at it and saying something just not right about Libby, and I've noticed it like over the years, but I just ain't said nothing about it. But this time, I just was like, okay, I'm gonna say something. So the two of them decide that they're going to go and meet up with one another and have a conversation. Lauren is done, tied, and through, and so is Alexi. And so when she meets up with with Libby, Libby really don't have too much to say. When Lauren walks in, she says, "Do you want a hug?" And Lauren was like, "No, I ain't, I don't have that to do." She said, "Oh, you didn't want the fake dry hug?" So that's what you was going to give her, a fake dry hug? Why show up? It means that you are not like that. That right there. Had it been me in real life, y'all let me know what y'all would have did downtown in the comment section. But in real life, I would have spent around on my heels, because at this point, there's no need for us to have a conversation. Like, really, like, why would you dry hug me? Either you gonna hug me or you not. Maisie, there's no room in the end over there. Excuse me, y'all. I have a suitcase that I'm unloading, and she wants to lay on the shades, and there's no room. She's a big dog. She's 47 pounds. It's impossible. But anyway, I digress. I'm just gonna go hit on the rubber one until she walk away. So anyway, so they start to talk about the situation, and Lauren tells her, "Look, I trusted you as a friend. I came to you and talked to you about what was going on in my relationship." And she was like, "Well, I mean, Libby was basically saying you the one that said this." And she said, "Yeah, at the time I did feel like that, but I didn't really feel like that. That's not what was going on." So Libby was like, I would not, my husband has never said anything about my body. And I wouldn't, stay in a relationship or whatever, right? If my husband was treating me like that. But your husband just lost $75,000, and he's dishonest to you. He was dishonest. He told everybody around you. He made an excuse up on the beach as to why he told the guys and didn't say anything to her. Moreover, he didn't even say anything to her father, who I'm sure is the one who has invested in this property along with them, and is the one who makes it possible for Andre to make a penny here in the United States. So which husband is worse? I'll take body shaming for $75,000. I would rather have my $75,000 and cuss my husband out every time he says something about my body. That's workable. But a liar who spends your money and takes you over to Moldova and spends more of your American coin, having, fireworks and parties and all of that. Your husband is dishonest, boo, from the rooter to the tutor. Now, I don't like verbal abuse. I'm not saying it's all right for Andre to say that, but we have soon discovered that Andre, she was saying that, Lauren was telling Andre, you were working out, you were losing the weight, you was, flexing in the mirror and everything. And I didn't feel like that. So I felt like every time you said something to me, you were body shaming. But we all know that Lauren has body dysmorphia. So it doesn't make a difference if her husband compliments her or does not compliment her. She has an internal issue of her own. This is not about Andre at all. And I don't know what kind of relationship they have. And so, she was talking to Libby, and Libby was like, well, your girlfriend acted, and at the party. So Lauren was like, okay, well, we already talked about that, and I've apologized over and over and over, and she doesn't want to accept the apology. Like, what can I do? You can't do anything because Libby is very stubborn. She does not have the ability to maintain relationships while she is married to Andre. And I think that there's going to come a day where Libby is going to sit back and she is going to find out that her husband, right, has caused her more loss in her life than she ever. Because when you lose your family like that, when you're willing to walk away from your family, like who walks away from their family like that? But anyway, I digress. We're going to go ahead on and move on. And so, basically she was like, Libby was, I think, open to trying to have a relationship, and Lauren just was not. Lauren was like, first of all, I think that you lied, because Andre said that he read the text messages. She said, Libby, this happened over 2 years ago. So you're keeping text messages from 2 years ago? Yeah, she is. I really do believe that she has, like, in my opinion, blackmail, I'm gonna get you sucker type of email, text messages. I think that she keeps her little stuff so that she can have a gotcha moment when she needs to have a gotcha moment, because she's not really friends with anybody at all. At all. And Lauren was like, I see you when I see you, I guess, we'll speak or whatever. Meantime, and in between time, Jovi and Yara, his mother had came up, for the launch. and the launch of the dog bags that are so overpriced in my opinion. Child, please. I wish that I would, if I had a little dog, have a big bag like that. Anyway, that's just, my taste. I'm like, girl, no. $1,000. I'm hearing these bags are going for $1,000. Anyway, so the mom is about to go back home, and they are talking about, you know, Florida versus living in New Orleans. And Jovi wants to go back home. He believes that they can take the money that they have, and they can, get more bang for their buck in New Orleans as opposed to Miami. But Yara believes that they make enough money to buy in Miami and never have to live in New Orleans. Now, you all remember when we were first introduced to this couple, she did not want to come to New Orleans. She thought it was dirty and all of that kind of stuff, right? But she is absolutely prospered in her life by being here. She's absolutely prospered in her life by being here. So it's been to her advantage to be here in America, whether it's in New Orleans or Miami. I think that they are very boring, but Yara is getting ready to get confronted by Lauren because Lauren found out from Elizabeth that she is the one that told her that she said that her husband was miserable. But so Yara is the one that's causing all the confusion in the relationship. She is a pot stirrer in the relationship. Y'all cannot stand a pot stirrer. Like, I just don't. And I believe that once we find out who the pot stirrer is, I believe you need to be exposed from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet. People need to, cast you out of the crew. Like, you need to go. So the next couple that I want to talk about is Cara and Guillermo. Y'all, I was so sad. I felt like I was breaking up. This was heavy. It was a very heavy episode with them. Kara is missing the point. Kara has a reputation, unfortunately, of being a cheater. We found that out when we were first introduced to this couple. In that season, if y'all remember, they met at the school reunion, the class reunion, and a young guy that was dating Kara said that she cheated on him. Kara is showing signs that any man or woman, if they were in that position, would think that there is something going on. Kara is saying, I'm in the house with the baby all day. I'm doing this, that, the other, knick-knack, paddle, give a dog a bone. And I just want to go out. Guillermo is saying, you had that, but you started abusing it where you were going out every week. Now the two of them dispute on whether or not it was every week or every they disputed on going out once a month or going out every week. But regardless, you are in a relationship with your husband and in a relationship with a man that you said you hooked up with one time who's doing favors for you. This man is doing favors for you. And that makes the relationship unbalanced because you're in need of his hookups. You come to the shows when he's there. You're going to after parties at his house. Sis, you wrong. I'm sorry. You wrong. Because if Guillermo was doing that, and trust and believe me, Kara tried to deflect and tried to throw it off on Guillermo, saying that Guillermo, she asked him, was he cheating? When you're doing something, you want to try to throw it off on the other person. She flat asked Guillermo, was he cheating? He told her no. She said, look into my eyes. And she asked him, and he said no. And there was no pushback from Kara. You know why? Because when she looked in his eyes, she saw nothing but honesty. So she couldn't play that card. She could not play that card because it won't nothing in. You can't get something from nothing. She's saying that it's because he's not there for the baby. It's because he's not here for that. She didn't come out in the beginning and say that this man was cheating. She never said that. If she did, I missed it. It wasn't until he asked her that she asked him. Now, she said that her mom and them said that he came in the house and he, washed up as soon as he came home. Doesn't he do manual labor at work? See, that's what I don't understand. I've lived with a blue collar worker before. The first thing he would do is wash himself and get those smells and that soot and all of that stuff, the drywall and all that off of him. Now, was he a cheater? Did he end up cheating and losing me? Yeah. But he had a routine of every day getting that off of him. And he didn't even bring his shoes into the home because he didn't want any of that debris, neither did I, in the home. So I don't think it's strange for a man who works manual labor, who's a blue collar worker, to want to clean up when they come in the house. And the mom and them need to mind their business anyway, because this is her relationship. She is the one that's in a relationship with a man that she needs something from. And as a woman, that's the worst thing I believe that we can ever do is let a man know I need you for something or I want you for something. Because guess what? After a while, they're going to want a return on their investment. So the two of them are, it's so awkward. They say that they slept in the bed with one another and they didn't even touch. Because at this point, they know that it's over. She already told him that she doesn't believe that he's her person. So where else does he go with this? There's nowhere else he can go. The relationship is over. And it was so sad to see the awkwardness between them. And she said it's sad that this relationship is we're splitting because he doesn't trust me. No, he's splitting because you want to live a different life. She says that she saw her life with Guillermo, right? And I'm not picking on her. I'm just calling it how I see it. She said that, she saw her life with Guillermo, but she has, things that she wants to do. But she got to remember that she's a mom. She's a mom. She did is it Rob? It's Josh, Jamal, and somebody else. They have these little videos and stuff that they do. And I can't remember what the name of their group is. I don't really care. And when I saw the one that she did with them, I was like, that's just too much. If I were her husband, that would make me very uncomfortable because, like, where's this coming from? Guillermo has told her, as his wife, he doesn't like her being half naked. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. And once a woman doesn't care, you can't make her care. And y'all know that. Once we don't care no more, we don't care anymore. And I'm serious. It's really hard to make us care. I know for me, if I don't care about you and I don't have no feelings for you, it's a done deal. No counseling, no talking, no nothing, right? Because I've already in the relationship, and this is just for me. Y'all may be different, but for me, I've already done all the relationship, the counseling and stuff before I just got to the point where I don't care. But if I feel like you're not working with me and I'm working by myself, I don't care anymore. Like, okay, like, I don't care. And once I'm there, I'm not coming back. And the only thing that she could say is like, yeah, let's go home. Then he goes. She knows she wrong. She know that there's some things that she's done that's been like, even if she hasn't cheated, right? There probably has been some things that she has done that's been right on the line. Right on the line. But it was so sad to see them riding back in silence when we watched them riding there together. That was really sad. The next person that I want to talk about is Brandon and Julia. What a miserable. Yo, seriously, what a miserable reunion. Brandon's mother is just too much for me. And I just don't understand why no one, except for the father in this episode, has called her out and really put this woman in check. I mean, put her in checkmate. Here it is. In last week's episode, we watched as the mother kept talking about rain and picking on the fact that Julia did not have a backup plan. The mother saying she should have had it under an awning or something like that, right? It does end up having some rain because it's Florida. It's breezy, it's a little chilly. But she wants to do this because her parents are here. And what I don't understand is why Brandon's parents don't respect that this girl's parents are here from Russia. And they're here for their daughter and for a vacation and to have a good time. And they don't have any boundaries. And I think that that is one of the main things. Matter of fact, I know is one of the things that Julia has been trying to establish with this old woman and this man. I actually sometimes believe that she acts very Karen-ish. I ain't saying she is one. I'm saying I believe she has traits because she says things at the inappropriate time and inappropriate things come out of her mouth. She doesn't have any regards for anybody's feelings. She has no regard for where she is. She has sly comments. Some of them appear to be laced with jealousy and vitriol. And this is just really how I see Brandon. And see Brandon's mom. And I also see the traits in Brandon. And I'm going to talk about that. So y'all sit down, buckle up, because I'm buckle up, buttercup, because we going to get into it. So she is getting ready and all of that kind of stuff. She's sharing this ceremony with her mom. Brandon mother comes in, and you want the mother to be there, but I don't know. I would have spent my day without the mother. And that's just on everything. Yeah. hmm So she comes in, the mother gives her jewels and stuff like that. She comes out in her dress. She's beautiful. They walk outside. Her dad walks her down. Brandon's mom is trying to tell her about ceremonial things. And she's like, that's just not our culture. That's your culture. That's not what we do. So, she kind of checks her hand there, but she shouldn't have to. This is her day. So they get outside and they're all standing there. The men are out there early. It is very windy and they're trying to make like a little runway, a little aisle for her to walk down. And they have their challenges because of the weather conditions, but they make it happen. And Julia comes down and she's with her father and she is happy. And the father kind of reunites the two of them together, right? Stands in as a priest, if you will, and wishes the best over their lives. But then we get to the restaurant and it is time to celebrate and to have dinner. The mom and the dad are here from Russia. They got production all in their face, everything, right? Because, I'm looking at the whole thing. And then the next thing you know, Brandon at the table, after Julia has asked him not to, throws a rock and hides his hand. I cannot. When I tell y'all I don't have no respect for Brandon, I don't have any respect for Brandon. It just wasn't the appropriate time. They had already discussed it. This is a happy occasion. Brandon throws the rock out there and says, we went to the fertility doctor. And then when they begin to ask him more questions, he doesn't open his word. So guess who got to talk? Julia. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see how he threw that conversation out there and left her out there to sink or swim? And I know that a lot of people, y'all probably gonna be so mad at me, but I, I just been around so long, y'all. I just I ain't got no chaser. I'm just straight. I'm served straight out the bottle. I see why Julia, as much as she gets on my nerve, has this I don't want a baby mindset. Because if Brandon was my husband who does stuff like this, wants what he wants. Now, granted, Julia has been yo-yoing back and forth because she's in another country. But I'm gonna tell you what I don't like though. That aside, is these people say I made sacrifices coming here. You didn't make no sacrifice coming to America. But anyway, I digress. Not like they be talking. Like they had these bomb ass lives and they like were just so wonderful and they were just so successful and they were just leaving billions of dollars on the table to come to America. Okay. Anyway, I just had to get that out. So she is sitting there and she is now having to defend a choice that she gets to make for her own body. Every time you turn around, Brandon doesn't protect her from his mother. He lets his mother verbally, in my opinion, verbally assault her, verbally disrespect her, verbally cross lines that she should not cross. If you first of all, you have one baby, you have Brandon. Where your 5 kids at? Where your other children? A lot of people will criticize you because you just had one. He is wanting to please his mother. And the way that he treats Julia is the same way his mother treats her. Except for the mother, except for Julia can't say boundaries. But I see why she flips back and forth, because who wants a wiener for a husband? So now, since he done put it out there, she's got to talk about the surgery, which she'd already talked about with her mom and her dad. And so now she's got to go back over the story with Miss Betty leaning over the husband. And when she's making a decision and saying, I don't want a baby, I don't think I want a baby. What? You're almost 30. Your biological clock. You out of order. Now, Julia's father said, some of that is true. But I got friends having babies at 40, 43, 45 years old. I had my baby late stage, mid 30s. Are you kidding me? One thing I know for sure. What God got for you, he got for you. And can nothing stop that. If it's for you, you gonna get it. Come hell or high water. Come criticisms or no. What God got for you, he will give you. Despite you. But for this woman to sit her up there and talk about somebody's biological clock, when this girl is facing anesthesia, like she said, for the first time, she's afraid, she's operating in fear. She has a husband who says he's going to support her, but isn't supporting her. Because sometimes support is just listening. You ain't got to say nothing. Let her make her own decisions about stuff. At the end of the day, it's her body. I mean, and can't nobody tell you what to do with your body. I don't give who you are. So she is in a dilemma because he throws her out there, and then when she tries to get him to say something, he shuts down. He don't know what to say. Her mother and her father are there, and they're seeing this tumultuous relationship. They're seeing that their daughter is unhappy and always having to argue with this man. And he don't even know how to be on his best behavior. Mind you, this is the same man when they had a disagreement about the mom and dad overstepping their boundaries and putting decorations up in the house and surprise jumping out of a box. He left his own wife and went to go and stay with his mother. All of these little things, if they don't correct it, all of these little things is going to destroy their marriage eventually. So we know that they're pregnant now. But Miss Betty don't know how to act. Even the father had to shut her up. He told her, Betty, shut up. Brandon is so used to his daddy letting a mama roll and rock and roll and do what she want to do. That shocked him when his daddy told Betty to sit the back and shut up. Sit back and shut up. At the end of the day, that's that girl's body. And it is. And whatever decisions that she decides to make are her decisions to make. Her husband don't have any type of influence over her because he throws her under the bus in front of his mother all the time. So for her, or if I were her, I would see it as they always tag team on me. He shut Miss Betty down. She said, I feel like everybody is putting pressure on me. And then when Brandon is asked, Brandon, what do you think about this? I don't know. But motherfucker, you started it. You the one that said something about it. You started it. So don't punk out and sit up here now and act like you don't have anything to say, Brandon. This was just a rough episode. Let's get off of them. And let's go to Gino and Jasmine. So, of course, we know that Jasmine is living as a vagabond, and that all Jasmine's life, she has been dependent on men. She has two children back in Panama that we haven't seen yet. Matter of fact, in this relationship that Jasmine is in with Matthew, is that his name? Matt? I've never heard them even discuss her bringing her child over here. If y'all heard it, y'all let me know downtown in the comments section. But he don't seem enthused about it. Not like Gino was. Gino got an awakening this episode. He'd already been, in my opinion, betrayed by his cousins, who accepted everything that Jasmine said. She spoon fed them whatever she wanted them to know and to think. And basically, so in this episode, Jasmine has a secret that she needs to tell Gino. And Gino, who messed up with Natalie by not being 100% honest and let her know what she was walking into, is lonely. Now, Gino has put Jasmine's stuff out on the street and everything else. And y'all know I didn't like that. So he should not even try to double back because he's lonely. But that's what men do. Or some men do. And some women. When ish ain't working out. Now they want to double back. No, y'all keep it pushing. Keep it cute. So Jasmine has told him that she has something very important and urgent that she needs to talk to him about. And Gino, with his dump, goes and walks up into another man's house. Really. Gino, you that stupid that that could have been a nightmare. You think I'm gonna walk up into some woman's house? I don't give who it is. And what is urgent? Because we're not in a position. But see, Gino, he gets what he reaps what he sows, and he sows what he reaps. Because how dare you put somebody out in a country that's not their own? And then when you get lonely and you're not working out, now you want somebody to come back. Okay, Gino. So he goes there. Jasmine, asked him about the girl, Natalie. He said, he asked her, why did she approach her like that? They should have been had that conversation if Gino cared anything about it. So, they're having a conversation about that. and he tells Jasmine that him and Natalie broke up because of it. And she's like, okay, so you was lying to her and me. You never said anything to me about a divorce. You led me on to believe that there was going to be some type of reconciliation, and you was dating her at the same time, and you didn't tell her stuff. True. True. Because while Gino did not say that he wanted a divorce, right? Because he didn't. While he put Jasmine out, he still was basically giving Jasmine an ultimatum that things could possibly get better if you would move out from being living with Matt. Gino has wanted his cake and he's been wanting to eat it too. Whether we like him or not, or whether we like Jasmine or not, this is the games that Gino has been playing. He has not been solid. No, he's not. They both take stuff and leave stuff in the air, in my opinion. So anyway, Jasmine tells him she don't feel sorry for him. He was playing the game or whatever. Gino was like, I wasn't. Okay. So then Jasmine tells him, I'm going to be moving to Florida. So he's like, okay. And Matt's coming with me. Honey, when she manipulated that, Jasmine, 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 stop. Girl, stop. That's not how that story went. The story went, Matt came to you and told you that he was moving to Florida for a better opportunity for himself, and he was bringing you with them if you wanted to. But she tells Gino, I'm moving to Florida and Matt's coming with me. Them little lies. It's them little lies. Those little inconsistencies. That's what it is. Anyway, so then after that, right, she, tells Gino there's something I need to tell you. She get to, the crying and everything, the damsel in distress. And she tells Gino that she's pregnant. And Gino looked like he was about to die. Uh, he played that off. He played that off and said, good for you. And so it's over with me and you. It's over. It's me and Matt's baby. And we did not plan for this to happen, but it happened. And girl, girl, if you don't plan against it, you plan for it. And I think that this is just Jasmine's way. I think that Gino probably has some infertility issues, maybe just something he needed to fix, right? Which is why she did not get pregnant by Gino. But I think that this is Jasmine's, a baby is Jasmine's calling card. She don't mind. That's just my opinion. I ain't saying she a hoe. I'm just saying that I think that this is just what she do with men. She said that Gino had been wanting a baby and it just never happened for them. But I'm wondering if every time she slept with this man, that she, you know what, Auntie, don't say it. Think it, but don't say it. Gino said anything else? Anything else? Because I didn't come here to listen to your relationship, talk about your relationship issues. I said, Gino, you handling that. Gino, you handle that. Because Jasmine was lost. He got up out that camp, and Jasmine went through that window, child, and was like, I'm so worried about him because he's going to get somewhere by himself and he's going to break down. When she was leaning out that window like that, I was like, girl, girl. Gino drives. He's devastated and he is crying. But Gino, a lot of this you brought on yourself. I'm sorry, Gino. You know damn well Jasmine never loved you. Gino, you knew from the beginning. But your ego wouldn't let you think anything else. You knew from the beginning that Jasmine did not love you. Every time she got an opportunity to throw something in your face, physical, verbally, in every other kind of way, she did it. You didn't even love her, Gino. You couldn't even make love to her. And the audacity of you, Gino. And I know y'all probably mad and saying, Auntie, he was hurting. But you know what? The truth is the truth, whether he crying or not. He brought this on himself. Because everybody around him, except for his family, was telling him. And he would sit year after year, go back to Jasmine. This girl exposed his bald head. He's always had a bad relationship with her. But because he didn't want to be lonely and he didn't want to be wrong, he let this woman manipulate him. He said, she never loved me. I thought she loved me. How could I fall for that? Your ego. Your ego. That's what brings great men down. Now you ain't a great man now, Gina. I ain't saying that. I'm just saying the power of the kitty has brought down kingdoms for years and years and years. Men will lose their whole empire, their whole entire life over it. And here's Gino. Ain't really got nothing. Didn't want to drive her back and forth. Didn't want to do this for her. He did the little pageant for her. She treated him like trash. Every time she got a drink in her hand, I was scared, honey, because she was throwing it on. She has been just as bad in character as Angela. But people give her a pass, and now she wants to flaunt her little baby up on the. And I ain't got it to do with neither one of them. But Gino is completely broken because now it's over. And I would never let somebody like Jasmine had an opportunity, had an upper hand on me and tell me we're over. Child, I'd beat her to that punch every day of the week. I felt sad for him. It was hard seeing him cry like that. But when they was at the marriage resort, and Josh and Rob and everybody was telling him, don't get into this open relationship, Gino. Gino couldn't hear nobody but Jasmine, even though he knew he had no feelings for her. And so now what he going to do? Try to get her deported? Is that gonna be his get back? But I tell you what, Matt think he got a prize. Matt got an anchor on his leg, on a anchor on his leg for the rest of his life, and unfortunately, it's with her and that baby. At least Gino got to go somewhere and sit down and lick his little wounds and be done with her. Matt stuck with her for the rest of his life because of that baby. And it looked like in the previews that he's body shaming her. Mm-hmm. She told me give me some suntan lotion for the baby. He told her she got child. I'm sure he prayed every day that she would lose that weight. And he's sitting up there looking like Tom Thumb. Anyway, y'all, that is the end of my review. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. This was a long review, but I'm hoping that y'all got something out of it. Y'all let me know downtown in the comments section what y'all think about this episode. Again, YouTube is having problems with comments. They are having problems with the comment section. So I am not being able to see y'all comments. Not all of them are like, I'll maybe see 3. If I see 3. So they are working on it. Know that they're working on it. I love you all. Thank y'all so much for being here. If you are a Love After Lockup fan, I'll be out in the next few talking about Miss Bianca. Until then, y'all be safe out there in those streets and in the water. And let's keep the conversation going on in the comment section. Bye, y'all.